I hope everyone had a wonderful first night Seder. Or if you're like me and you have a newly minted 3-year-old, I hope you had a tolerable first night Seder. You can accuse social media of many ills, and justifiably so, but there is something I love that social media provides this time of the year. That's my kid. My Facebook feed, my Instagram is filled with photos of the exact same thing at this time of the year. Same thing. As the first night draws near, you see photo after photo flooded my Facebook, my Instagram, with pictures of Seder tables. Just everyone is posting pictures of their Seder tables. And some are the very basic layouts. It's, dinner plates and wine glasses for 4, and a Seder plate in the middle, box of matzah off to the side. That's how I grew up. And some people, their setup for Seder is ornate. There's pillows on every chair and seating for the ganze mishpacha, and a Seder plate for every single person, a very rich fabric tablecloth littered with those little plastic frogs that you can pop with your finger. My Facebook is flooded with these photos. This year, in addition to all those photos, someone posted, and I don't know their motivation for doing this. I don't actually remember who exactly it was. It was not a congregant. It was a colleague. But someone wrote a post amidst all these photos of beautiful Seder tables, pictures of delicious dinners and buffet style, and these smiling families, they gathered around. They wrote, "If you don't post a picture of your Seder, did it really happen?" That's not very nice. As if it's a bad thing that so many people are celebrating Passover, holding Seders, telling the story of redemption, going from slavery to freedom, from narrowness to expansiveness. That's a bad thing? I think what they were trying to say is, look at these clout chasers, only posting photos of their holiday celebrations to prove something. They don't really care about Pesach. They don't really know what Passover is really about. They don't care about changing what the Seder is really about if it suits them. They just want to substitute substance for plastic junk. Boo. And it's true, there is a lot of plastic stuff you can buy these days. It seems like there's more of it every year. Most of it is aimed at children, plastic frogs and 10 plagues stickers and 10 plagues masks and 10 plagues finger puppets and Passover games and Passover dominoes and all this dreck. And that's definitely a difference that you see every year. More and more of this stuff you can buy. That's true. And then there's the Haggadah itself. And I think the kind of cynic who would make such a post would be the same kind of person who would snub all these new editions of the Haggadah, as well as all of the new additions to the Seder itself. There's always new Haggadot that come out every year, and they expand on the additions that came before, giving more explanations and more new connections between old themes and modern issues. And the Haggadah, they can be like this thick. Or, like the new cell phones, ultra thin, lightweight, foldable even. 30 minutes and you're done. What's wrong with Maxwell House, this person would say, as if Maxwell House is what Moses brought down from Har Sinai. And look, in fairness to our slightly grumpy friend, or my slightly grumpy friend, with the plethora of Passover-themed toys and tchotchkes and all the new Haggadot and the availability of social media to post pictures of all of it, one can certainly get wrapped up in all the packaging. But anything that you do to augment your Seder, however your family adapts the Haggadah, that is exactly what you are supposed to do. That's what the rabbis say you're supposed to do. That's the whole point of the Seder experience. For the sake of this did God do for me, for my going out of Egypt, is the answer we give the wicked child during the Seder, who does not see themselves in the Exodus story, because we are required to see ourselves in the story of our people's redemption. That's the whole point. That's all the rabbis required. Pesach, matzah, maror, sacrifice, adaptation, difficulty. These 3 Passover themes, they're all the requirements for freedom, because freedom requires sacrifice. It requires adaptability. And it will never, ever come without difficulty. That's what we're supposed to cover during the Seder. That's it. Whether you use the Maxwell House Haggadah or one of those new ones that resembles a phone book, or one of those new runs that resembles a restaurant menu. That's what you got to talk about. That's it. And you're supposed to engage the kids. So buy the plastic frogs if you want, or the ping pong balls for hail, or the wild animal finger puppets, or the 10 plagues nail art, which I did, actually. The Haggadah says so. In the 4 questions, P'tach, open the conversation for your child. Get them thinking about Pesach, its meaning, the story, the symbols. And on the other hand, for the record, if you have a toddler who just couldn't sit still, and you missed most of the Seder because you were running around after them, and they got maybe 2 songs, and all the matzah and the romaine lettuce they could get their hands on, dayenu, it's enough. And you don't gotta, but if you choose to post pictures of your Seder, whether your Seder was you and a friend, or you and the whole mishpacha, good for you. If you had a Seder at all, you're in good company. More than any other Jewish observance, more than lighting Shabbat candles, more than keeping kosher, more than fasting on Yom Kippur, almost 80% of Jews attend a Passover Seder. 80%! I can't think of one thing 80% of Jews agree on. But 80% of Jews go to a Seder. That means 80% of Jews are telling our people's story, eating the significant foods, singing the songs, doing as our ancestors commanded that we do. We're calling the story of freedom and hold it dear to ourselves. And in doing so, remember that the struggle for freedom is ongoing. However you choose to Seder, however you make it relevant and meaningful to those participating, or for those with small children, tolerable. Whatever Haggadah you use, whether you wrap up in 30 minutes or you go past midnight, if someone wears robes and pretends to be Elijah, Shvo Chamatecha, or you just take turns reading from the Haggadah, know that whatever it is that you do to tell the stories, to talk about the symbols, you're doing exactly as you should, exactly as we're meant to do. And when my Facebook feed fills with photos of people gearing up for this holiday, when I overhear people making plans days or even weeks in advance, when I go to the grocery store and I peruse the aisles with Jews of all stripes, it fills my heart with joy. It reassures me, as I hope it does you, that no matter how dire things are in the world or for our people, the vast majority of us are observing Jewishly right now, and that is a beautiful thing. It's a miracle. However you choose to do so. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a beautiful and joyous Pesach.